Try pausing for a moment and ask yourself, is what you see every day truly all that exists? Perhaps the world you believe in is merely a tiny slice of a vast painting that surrounds you. It's not located on a distant planet, nor is it locked behind secret doors reserved for the few. In reality, it exists right within the everyday life you walk through, breathe in, and engage with, but you simply haven't noticed it yet. Every conversation you partake in, every choice you make, even what you call coincidences, are influenced by unseen forces you've been taught to ignore. Like a continuous soundtrack playing in the background of space, there's a layer of reality humming just beneath the noise of daily life, an energy field enveloping and permeating every experience. In this space, time is no longer rigid, opportunities seem to present themselves effortlessly, and events align with the precision that defies randomness. Yet most people never perceive it because they are conditioned to focus only on the surface and dismiss the depth. The truth is simple, yet powerful enough to shake the foundation of your beliefs about the world. There is another dimension operating right where you stand, and you have crossed it countless times without realizing it. Beneath the clamor of everyday life, a field of reality continuously vibrates. It is like a quiet yet potent flow where time can bend, where opportunities, seemingly out of reach, arrange themselves to arrive at the perfect moment, and where events connect with unbelievable precision. This is not coincidence. It is an invisible symphony meticulously arranged. Yet most people remain unaware. Why? From birth, we are taught to focus on the surface, on what our eyes see, our ears hear, what can be measured. We are guided to overlook the deeper layers where the true essence of reality operates. Instead of seeing this wondrous orchestration, we get caught in the whirl of work, worry, and the rigid rules society imposes. The truth, however, is extraordinarily simple. There is another dimension existing parallel to each moment you live. It is not loud, it does not demand attention, but it is always there, waiting for you to notice it. And when you truly begin to sense it, your entire perception of life transforms. You will realize that you were never limited. You were merely guided to overlook the vastness inherent in reality. There is a dimension of existence that does not follow the rules you were taught as unchanging. In the old framework, you were told that success requires struggle, progress demands sacrifice, and that effort is the price of advancement. But in truth, that is all an illusion. In this hidden dimension, reality does not respond to the sweat and toil you invest. It reflects directly the frequency you maintain. If your inner world is filled with worry and scarcity, the external reality mirrors similar experiences. But if you nurture clarity, faith, and harmonious emotions, you become a magnet, attracting corresponding circumstances to yourself. This is why some people seem not to chase goals, yet everything they desire comes to them effortlessly. They are not caught in the relentless grind. Instead, they move gracefully, firmly, yet can shift circumstances and even influence the lives of others. Once you grasp this principle and realize that life can operate under an entirely different logic, there is no turning back. You will understand that struggle is not a prerequisite for growth. It is a sign that you are not living at your true frequency. Only a few truly understand the secret. They are the ones who have learned to use it to shape their own lives and even influence the journey of others, unbeknownst to most of the world. Curiously, you have also brushed against it, even fleetingly, and once recognized, nothing will ever look the same again. From childhood, you were taught to believe that the world you see is all that exists, that the reality frame you observe is unique, immutable, and absolute. But in truth, that frame is just a cage built from beliefs, rules, and measurable data that makes reality appear stable, predictable, and uniform for everyone. You go to school, work, pursue goals in the same patterns, thinking there is no other choice. Yet that is only a narrow slice of existence. Outside this frame lies another layer of space, a dimension few are encouraged to see. It operates on more flexible principles, where intention, perception, and the frequency you carry are the determining factors. When that thin veil begins to crack, you will realize reality has never been fixed. It only reflects what you believe to be real. To truly understand this secret dimension, you must first recognize a fact. The world you were taught to trust is neither objective nor comprehensive. It is a reality framework carefully constructed from beliefs, measurements, data, and rules society treats as absolute. Within this frame, everything seems stable and rational. Time flows linearly, events follow in sequence, and cause and effect operates like a cold machine. Thus, humans are easily led into a safe state, believing that this world is the only one, that nothing lies beyond what science or the system can measure. You work, contribute, and strive under the same logic, convincing yourself that you control life.
Yet, all of this only describes a very narrow range of existence. Beyond that boundary, right outside this seemingly absolute frame, lies another dimension, a reality you have never been encouraged to see. Here, laws are no longer rigid, but bend according to the frequency you maintain. Here, you're not confined to predictability, but can open up to a far larger panorama. And when you start to notice this, you realize the world you know is only the surface. Behind it lies a layer of reality waiting for you to step in. Just beyond the boundaries you believed absolute exists a secret dimension where reality is woven from energy, consciousness, and intention. Here, the rigid rules of the familiar world no longer hold. They bend, shift, and reflect according to the frequency you carry within. Interestingly, this dimension is not a distant place you must search for. It is not on another planet, nor locked behind mystical doors. Instead, it is a state of consciousness, always here, right now. You can step into it at any moment, simply by changing your perception and inner vibration. In the familiar third-dimensional, 3D world, you and all things are seen as separate entities. Time operates linearly, moment by moment. Success is tied to relentless effort, sacrifice, struggle, and the exhausting pursuit of goals. This perspective traps billions in repetitive cycles, always competing for seemingly scarce resources, measuring self-worth by sweat and depletion. But that is merely a mask. Behind it lies a broader reality, waiting for you to shift your frequency to access it. In 3D, basic perception is separation, you versus the outside world. Time is viewed as an immutable line from past to present to future. Within this framework, people believe success comes only through unceasing effort and struggle to reach results. This mindset traps billions in an endless loop. They chase goals, convinced that fierce competition is necessary to secure scarce resources. Progress is measured not by peace or joy, but by exhaustion and depletion. Life becomes a tiring race, where rewards may never compensate for the losses along the way. Most have never paused to ask, is this truly the only way to live? They accept the 3D model as absolute truth, failing to see it as just a veil. This conditioning causes them to overlook deeper layers of reality, where natural flow, connection, and abundance always exist, merely waiting for a shift in frequency to perceive. In the fifth dimension, 5D, human perception elevates to an entirely new level. Here, you no longer see the world through limiting lenses, but sense that all things are connected, interwoven in an invisible energy network. Time is no longer a rigid line, but a flexible flow, where past, present, and future can interact, support, and influence one another. In this state, you are no longer driven by lack or fear of insufficiency. Instead, you operate from the frequency of love, abundance, and gratitude. Action is no longer forced or exhausting, but a natural expression of joy and inspiration. Every step is creative, harmonious, and brings value to both yourself and the collective. At the 5D level, you begin to understand that reality is not merely something you passively experience. It mirrors your inner state directly. When you shift your vibration, the world around you changes accordingly. This is a leap of consciousness where humans no longer live just to exist, but to co-create with the universe. In this harmony, you find true freedom. Entering the sixth dimension, 60, creative limitations nearly vanish. Here, imagination and intuition merge, opening the ability to co-create with the universe in ways beyond ordinary reasoning. In 60, you not only perceive reality as changeable, you feel yourself as its designer. At this frequency, energy flows become subtle and pure. You connect with energy patterns, the original templates of life, and your creativity is no longer constrained by time or space. You can imagine an idea, image, or possibility, and almost instantly, energy aligns to bring it into manifestation. 6D is also where collective consciousness becomes clearer than ever. You realize that each thought and vibration affects not only personal life, but the shared energy field of humanity. Creative action is no longer only personal, it contributes to global evolution. At this level, you no longer live with limiting thinking, but as a cosmic artist, co-creating with infinite energy. This is the gateway to ultimate freedom, creativity, and enlightenment. When you start perceiving and stepping beyond the familiar 3D frame, you realize you are no longer bound by its rules. In 5D, you need not play the game set by others. Instead, you learn to create your own. This shift is crucial. You understand that true power lies not in controlling the external environment, but in maintaining inner frequency. This secret dimension is not a place to search for. It is a frequency you generate and nurture. By maintaining a consistent frequency, clear in intention, filled with positive emotions, and aligned with inner energy, you become a living magnet. Surrounding reality reflects your inner state, and suitable events, opportunities, and people come naturally, without chasing or forcing. Ancient teachings have mentioned this in many forms. The Vedas speak of levels of existence. Hermetic doctrines reference correspondences between the visible and the invisible, and mystics across cultures describe numerous palaces of reality, each representing a different state of consciousness. These teachings are not mere metaphors or poetry. They are instructions for tuning your mind and heart to live within a broader layer of reality where your creative potential can be fully realized.